Hey guys, Sam here from Harvey Cat Homestead. It's starting to cool down. It's not 100% cool yet, but I've been trying to get to where I can give you guys a garden tour, like a legit garden tour that's not rushed for weeks, it feels like. Since before I did the last one that I posted, honestly, because the last one I posted was really rushed. So I would really love to take some time and show you guys around. We're going to start here at the tea garden. This is bee balm, also known as bergamot. It's commonly used in Earl Grey tea. It tastes amazing. When it's actively in flower, it really draws in hummingbirds. Pollinators love it. You can get a second bloom off of this, and I may come back and do that whenever you deadhead it, whenever you remove these spent blossoms. So there's that. We got some lemon balm over here, and man, does it smell good. I wish I could just share this smell with you. I've got a little bit of dill tucked in here. It's not happy. Dill does not like heat. So, and then we've got some asparagus. It's way beyond when it should have been harvested. I very intentionally have let it go for, honestly, the past 3 years. I could have been harvesting more, but I really wanted it to get good and established. And then back in here is some chicory. That root can be harvested and used as a bit of a coffee substitute. Yeah, coffee substitute. So, you know what? Instead of rushing out there, let me show you a little bit around the house, because that sun is still pretty doggone bright. So, Michael's over here working on... Michael, what are you doing? You working on getting some gas put up?
I'm trying to make sure she don't film another short about running out.
What a good husband. I don't deserve him. He's too good. So this right here is Sebacia canidiana. It is a native wildflower. And then I've got some liatris that's kind of growing up alongside it as well. This little agastache, oh my gosh. It's hummingbird mint is the common name for that. This guy is kind of towards the end of his flowering, but he's still stunning. This you may not see in a lot of my videos because it's kind of up. This is a black diamond crepe myrtle. So it is, I want to say it's a proven winner's plant. It has light pink flowers whenever it blooms in like late July. It's really pretty. This is a kind of chrysanthemum. And as you can see, it's nice and lush and pretty and thick and happy. I haven't watered anything. I've really been very lazy. I'm very much one of those, hey, if you can survive, then that's great. And if not, you don't belong here kind of gardeners when it comes to around the house. This is Dyer's coreopsis. It's supposed to be used in red dye. I've not harvested any, but like it's that little flower right there is supposed to be able to produce. I'm just gonna pull it off. So this is supposed to, if you collect enough of these, be really good for dyeing. I'm kind of on a journey in terms of textiles, fabrics, whatever. Michael got a bunny. This isn't going to be a garden tour if you keep bringing bunnies around. I can only record so much at a time. But I appreciate it. We will make more rabbitry videos, and he will be happy to show you bunnies. It's still pretty hot for them, too. Like, they're not enjoying it at all. I don't think many of us are enjoying the 90-degree days. So, anyway, let me continue to show you what we have going on in these beds. This is another native. This is, there's a tag back there. I can't remember exactly. So this is an aromatic aster. I'm not gonna mess you up with the Latin name because it's going to confuse everyone, but it's getting ready to flower. All of these are little buds, these little finely, I'm not even sure if you can see that. Yeah, all these funky little ends. They have very, very fine flowers. That was supposed to be a goth garden. It's not gothy at all. All of that Centauria, all those bachelor's buttons are supposed to be black. As you can see, they're not black. They're still beautiful, but they're not black. So here we've got some Rudbeckia. It is just now starting to flower. You can kind of give you a zoom in on that. It's pretty. Got some thyme and Itea back in here. That's another native plant. And this is another kind of aster that is a native. It is also just getting ready. Actually, it's setting fruit now. It's already finished. Stokesia, it's a Stokes aster. We've got some variegated iris. I absolutely love this variegation. I think it is so stunning. The way it's like, the colors come out as like a fan shape. It's hard to beat coneflower. Now, this is a cultivated variety, so it's like, people would call it a native R. But it's absolutely beautiful, and the pollinators don't really care if it's a native R or a cultivar or an actual native plant. I promise you, they are still quite happy to collect pollen and nectar off of it. So we've got several different varieties of those coneflowers. Also, the Latin name is Echinacea. We've got oregano. All of those dead stalks in there are Riverside iris. They are like Rocky Mountain iris. I wish I had been recording and gotten some of that because man, is it beautiful. That's actually, I can show you a little bit here. So this guy on my leg, that's actually what that is modeled after. This is supposed to be a Rocky Mountain iris. You see the blue color, it's quite pretty. All right, so got some phlox over here. I've got some dill mixed in with it as well, but it's not nearly as happy as that other dill. I didn't plant that this year. It just kind of popped up. Please excuse this goofy thing I have going on with these seats. I was going to put these down here, but I didn't want to disturb my waspers. They're happy. They're pollinators too. I know they're not the prettiest pollinators, but you know, I still value them. I do have in a container this one lemongrass guy over here. I've got lemongrass in a couple of different spots. It is one of my absolute favorite herbs because it just smells amazing. It is such a wonderful smell. And then over here we've got some yarrow. That is what all those little shimmery looking flowers are. I need to come out here and deadhead those as well. They're, you know, quite ready to have some of that old yucky stuff taken off of them. This is parsley. This is, oh, and there's a little lizard. He's over here eating buggies. I appreciate you, friend. He just ate like a fly or something. Yeah, and parsley, when it goes to seed, it kind of goes nuts. This is one of my favorite coneflowers. It is just absolutely beautiful. And it's right outside the kitchen window, so I get to enjoy it every day. And I really enjoy this little orangey guy. I love that this is the sombrero series of echinacea, so it flowers and it sort of fades, like the colors kind of change a bit. I will be pulling weeds as we continue on. Got some more iris. Then that is grape hyacinth down there that is pretty much going dormant. That is how things go. There's a rabbitry for you. Grapevines. So over here I got a couple of different kinds. This right here, that actually, let me show you some grapes. Do you have some grapes in here? So that is a Catawba grapevine. So they are purple seedless grapes. I do have some buggies eating them already. That's the way it goes, including Japanese beetles. Need to come out here and handle that. And then these little tiny baby grapes. I've got a whole bunch of those. Those little guys right there are all off of my white muscadine, which is what is on this side of the trellis. Absolutely love those guys. I think the sun is still gonna be mean, but that's okay. Okay, walking past the AC unit, it might get a little loud, a little bright. Got some hosta back in here, and then this is columbine. It was gorgeous when it was in flower as well. Those I grew from seed. I just kind of tossed them out, and they just did phenomenal. Here's our little Camellia sinensis plant. It seems to be doing well. Quite happy that he's here. Finally got some mulch around him. This is a limelight hydrangea. It is just starting to flower. It flowers this greeny color and then it fades to white. They actually preserve very well too, so I like to dry them. And a fun floral trick, something that I did for my wedding, we did all of our flowers ourselves. We had some of those dried and then we spray painted them. We painted them pink. We did it in like different layers, so it was like varied. It's kind of this ombre color. Looked really neat. It turned out really, really well. Lavender, I can never get enough lavender. The bees can never get enough lavender. Yeah, I just love bees. I love them so much. They make me very, very happy. This is a tea berry. This is kind of an experiment. I have never grown them before, so I've eaten them. They made my tongue go numb. And that's fun. And so, of course, I had to buy it because novelties. Who doesn't love a good novelty plant? Up here, that is white currant over there. This is a chamaecyparis. It doesn't really do anything. It's just pretty. It's got that goldish color to it. It's normal. Below that, we have an anemone. It has not flowered yet. I decided to get an anemone because I wanted one as a tattoo. Those are anemones, both of them. And so I decided if I was going to have one on my arm, I wanted one in my yard too, because that's how I roll. This next to it is a kind of oregano that has really, really funky blossoms on it. It's not quite there yet. It's starting to bloom. I'll have to show you whenever it's really going for it. This is scabiosa, paper moon scabiosa. Oh, sorry, little spider. I offended him. Okay, well, we're gonna leave that be. Anyway, I hope you saw that. That was pretty cool. Then we've got more coneflower. You can actually use the roots of the coneflower medicinally. I've never done that, but you can. This is another of the sombrero series, and then this is powwow pink. There is a powwow white as well, but I don't like white flowers because they fade to brown. Whatever. Back in the corner, we've got a bit of swamp milkweed. This is penstemon, another lavender. The trick that I have found with getting lavender really, really happy is planting it with a bit of sand underneath, so they have good drainage. If it's going to die, it's probably going to be in the winter, and it's probably going to be because it stayed too wet over winter. Or at least that's true in our climate in central North Carolina. So everywhere's a little different. Got some thyme growing over here. I think I've already shown you guys that in one of my herb videos. And then this funky volunteer pumpkin. He's got some cool looking little fruits on here. I think it's going to produce a ton of fruit, but they're all going to be kind of small, which is fine with me. I didn't pay for that plant. It's just enjoying life free of charge. That back in there is a buckthorn. It's going to get kind of tall and narrow, so I thought it'd be cool in that kind of section of the house. This is a great example of why I don't like white flowers. This is a dwarf buddleia, butterfly bush. It's all right. It's not my favorite. I don't think I'd plant it again if I had the choice. Got some sage over here. And that's everything around the house. It's a whole 15 minutes of around the house. So that's not my focus. It's just kind of nice. I do try to plant things outside of windows that I can see from inside that I will be happy and enjoy. All right, so I'm gonna kind of take you guys through the food forest area. It's very new. Everything here is always in progress, so keep that in mind. This is our first ever comfrey plant. I'm very excited. Sorry, bounced the tripod here. Michael squished part of it. What the heck? Comfrey is an excellent biodynamic accumulator, which means if anybody's familiar with permaculture terms, this is going to pull nutrients from way deep in the ground and get them up into their leaves. And so people use the chop and drop method a lot with it. It's an excellent fertilizer, basically. We've got a couple of cardoons over here. They are babies. They are just now getting acclimated. I don't have the heart to cut this red bud. I need to, but I haven't done it yet. And I'm hesitant about doing it because I think it's really cool whenever it's blooming because it just gets covered in these tiny little pink flowers. And then back in there we have our blackberries. That's kind of all that's in this little nook over here. Got some more lemongrass. This is our greenstock tower. I need to be paying more attention to it. That is all. The statice is starting to bloom. That's pretty cool. It's a very unique plant. If anybody likes dried flowers, this is a go-to for you. The yellow seems to do better for some reason. The yellow wants to flower quicker. The bug hopped on me. But those, I'm not sure what color those are going to be. We'll find out. But the strawberries in here are just kind of getting acclimated. I haven't watered them as often or as well as I should have, and so they're not doing as well as they should, but you know, it's okay. Squash bugs are finding strange places to lay their eggs because I keep squishing them in other places. So, sorry friends. I'm not sorry. Who am I kidding? So this is an apple. I have quite a few apples right here. When I say food forest, what I mean is I've kind of gone crazy and we've got a combination of both trees and shrubs and annuals. This we've got trailing out is a luxury pie pumpkin. I've kind of slacked a little bit in terms of hunting for squash bugs, so there are more in here. Here we've got some herbs. This is holy basil right here. It's great for teas. Obviously sunflowers all over the place. Most of these sunflowers I didn't plant. They just kind of popped up. This is a Dutch fork pie pumpkin. Very excited to see how it does. It is a local-ish heirloom. It's local to South Carolina. As I said, we are in North Carolina. But that's okay. Close enough. I'm going to try to keep it out of my Joe Pye weed because I really like this variegated Joe Pye weed. It flowers this really pretty purple plant and pollinators love it. So the more we can keep our pollinators happy, the better. Got a different kind of bee balm over here. That one's, it's like sugar sprite or something, like very small, bright pink leaves. Oh, that's funky. That is a bagworm. I'm gonna put you down for a second. I'll show you this. So, a bagworm is a kind of caterpillar that forms, that's like the little bag that it lives in. So inside of here, oh, this is really fresh. There's going to be like a worm. I don't want to open it up. I'm just going to squish it. I'm sorry. I would show you, but I'm going to see if I can get it kind of out down here on the ground because I don't really want to squish it in my fingers. Because I just don't really want on me. They're very difficult to kill, honestly. They're a very common pest on conifers and different things like that have scales or needles. But I've been finding them kind of randomly in some spots around the yard. So they never leave those cocoons. At least the females don't. Oh yeah, it was alive. Yeah, I squished his guts out, sadly. Well, not sadly, because it's a pest. But this is some caterpillar guts for you. Congratulations. So the males actually do form a cocoon and evolve, or whatever. Gosh, you can tell I'm a 90s kid. That was a Pokemon reference. They do have a metamorphosis where they will turn into a kind of moth, but the females actually never change. So this kind of apple that we have right here, this is a Fuji apple. This guy, he's a little whimsical. You can see he's growing out on a curve there, but I love that. I think that's really fun. So we're just gonna let him keep doing him. Over here, we've got a Fujitsu pumpkin. This is one that I've not grown before, so I'm excited to see how it does. I believe it has set some fruit. It's kind of hard to tell right now, but it is growing underneath a Golden Delicious apple, which I should not have planted because Golden Delicious have all kinds of problems. But you only know what you know, so don't feel bad for learning. I'm going to go ahead and finish showing you this area before we move into the raised beds. This is Love in a Mist. All of these are seed pods. Kind of crush them up, and now you can see all those little black things are seeds. Not that many in that one. One time I crushed one of these and it was just completely filled with ants, so I'm a little hesitant now. Yeah, there you go. That's a better shot of actual seeds. So that's why I have left this here. I'm just kind of allowing them to reseed. I kind of let things grow wild out here, if you haven't noticed. This is an Arkansas black apple. And then that little guy over there is a Stamen wine sap apple. And then we have some basil going on. This is a Kajari melon, is that right? I did put a tag out here, but I don't know where it is now. Yeah, Kajari melon. That's like a hand melon. I've not tried that yet, but I have some people that have suggested it. And so, yeah. This, honestly, I couldn't tell if it was a Queen Anne's lace or if it was a flowering carrot, because I've grown both, whether accidentally or intentionally. But I think it's just so pretty. And that's another one that has a deep taproot that can pull nutrients from way down deep in the ground. So why in the world would we not let him stay? This is a pawpaw. You need 2 pawpaws in order to pollinate. So I only have one because the second one I bought died. Maybe one day I'll get another one. This is a flowering quince. This one does actually produce fruit. There are some varieties that are just ornamental. And this is borage. It is also called bee's friend. I can't imagine why. There are blue and white varieties of this. I have both of them growing. I don't know if the white one's flowering yet or not. Got some more herbs going on. That's hummingbird mint back in there. This is a lemon verbena. That's another one I plan on harvesting for teas. Here's my little blueberries over here. They're pretty well done. This is a button bush. Its flowers are very unique as well. Really think they're cool. That's another really good pollinator plant. I'm just kind of letting things go wild out here, like I said. This is a butternut squash over here. He's starting to set fruit. You can see there's some right there. Down in here. It's buggies. Get out of there, heifer. Well, whatever. That sunflower I didn't plant. It is trying to set some seed. If I harvest any seeds off of these sunflowers, they're going to go to the rabbits. I'm not brave enough to eat them, mostly because they get really buggy. There's some kind of little worm that really, really likes to live in there. Got a couple of different peach trees. One is Georgia Belle. I believe the other is Contender. I don't quite remember. Got some more herbs growing down here. That's a lemon basil. And then this is, I want to say it's a Negroni fig. I can't ever remember the name of it. Got plenty. I mean, most of what's down here has volunteered, aside from the fig trees and the mulberry. A couple other things. This watermelon I didn't plant. It just popped up happily. Hello, bee friend. Oh, it makes me so happy. Big old sunflowers. This I did plant. This is an almond. I'm very excited to see how well it does in our climate, because I was under the impression that you could not grow almonds here. Got a second fig tree. This is Chicago Hardy. It's got some figs on it as well. Yeah, little bitty figs. That one, you can kind of see the figs from over here. Last year, this thing had a ton of figs on it, but none of them ever ripened. So all of those little node guys should be mature figs that we can eat at some point. This is a mulberry. It produced like crazy this year. It's just, I put this plant in here so that I could cut branches off of it to harvest and feed to my rabbits. And that is exactly what I have been doing, and I need to come do it more because it is getting a little crazy. Got another kind of squash down there. That's a delicata squash. The elderberry over here is just now starting to set fruit. You can see all these little bitty tiny green guys will be deep purple elderberries. This is our pecan tree. We have never harvested off of. Actually, I shouldn't say we haven't harvested off of it. It's never actually produced fruit. This is another powwow pink coneflower. This thing is just, I'm just so amazed with how intense it is in terms of the flowering. It's just covered in them. And then we've got this white yarrow over here. The white is supposed to be the best in terms of medicinal use. So I do plan on coming down here and harvesting some of these blooms and allowing them to dry prior to allowing it to, or hopefully before it starts kind of being done flowering. But we'll see if I ever get to it. That's the name of the game around here, is does Sam have enough time to do all of the things that she has volunteered to do? Spoiler, the answer is no. Yeah, this is a sweet dumpling squash, and then it is partnered with some, what are these? These are, it's obviously a kind of bee. It's not, oh, these are pinto beans. Yeah, that's what it is. Pintos. Yeah, pintos. This is a whole bunch of Asclepias tuberosa, which is butterfly weed. This I stuck in the freezer for a little while and came out here and just kind of dumped it, and it's clearly viable. I wasn't sure if it was. I honestly need to get this Silver Falls dichondra out of here. I didn't mean to grow these. They just came up. So whatever was in there before clearly had seeds in there. So sometimes that's cool. Sometimes it makes things a little more complicated. But, you know, we're good with complicated around here. We just roll with it. You're bored otherwise if you don't have something you're fighting, right? It's the only way we stay sane is to tell ourselves these things. Okay, so I'm going to try to come at these beds from this angle. Hopefully this will be reasonable. I don't know. Reasonable is not really the name of the game around here at Harvey Cat Homestead. So this bed, we have holy basil. This is a sunflower. Some beans. So this bed had really bad isopods, and I was not sure if they were gonna... I kept putting random beans in here because I didn't know if they were gonna grow, because they kept getting eaten. The seedlings kept getting eaten. And so I honestly don't know what variety of green bean this is. I do know it's a green bean. I think it might be Triumph de Farcy. It's either Triumph de Farcy or it is Blue Lake bush bean. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we won't. I just noticed something pretty cool down here. So this, I also have stevia in this bed from last year that that didn't die over the winter. That is a stevia seedling, which is pretty cool. Here's the stevia. I was under the impression that stevia was not going to survive the winter. I did cut it back and it came right back from the roots. So it's quite happy, which is great. This is a cotton plant. This is an experiment. It is forming little bowls. That'll be neat. Interested to see how that goes. Experiments are the name of the game around here, right? Fun times. Okay, I've got to get this spurge out of here. Let me show you this. This prostrate spurge can be the bane of your existence. This stuff will just form a mat. It loves open soil, and it also really loves a driveway. So every one of these little nodes can form a totally new plant, which is why it forms mats and it becomes so troublesome. So, all right, there's this couple of crazy sunflowers over here that are so happy. Below that, we've got some Persian, I want to say Persian rug, zinnia, Persian something. I can't quite remember. I'm gonna come over here and toss these weeds. So I do chop and drop, but not with weeds that I know are invasive, because they will grow more, and I don't want that. I don't want that. All right. I started over there, but I'm gonna bring you back over here. Here we've got cayenne peppers. This is Texas Hill Country okra. It forms these pods that are really short and fat. Let's see if I can find one. This marigold is the only one that I grew from seed that survived. Yeah, here we go. Here's a good pod for you. It's not the tall skinny, it's the short and fat. So it should make a nice little chunky puck. We have some hybrid sweet corn over here. Onions that I will be harvesting like tomorrow. They should have been gotten out of here a long time ago. This is a silver slicer cucumber. They produce these white fruits. Man, this does not want to come off of this vine. There we go. I gotta make pickles tomorrow too, because I have so many sweet gherkin pickles I don't know what to do with them. And this corn's not long for this world either. It'll be harvested quite soon. These potatoes, they're a little late. And I say they're a little late because I didn't intentionally plant them. I mean, I intentionally came out here and put these potatoes in the ground. I didn't buy these potatoes to plant. I bought them to eat, and then they started to sprout. And so I put them in the ground, and now they're growing me more potatoes, ideally. This is just one long goofy bed. I'm gonna have to redo this entire thing this winter. I'll keep you guys posted on that. Good times. So this is a pumpkin that I didn't plant. You can see it's got a nice little lovely fruit on here. That's the one fruit I've seen so far. I'm sure there will be more. It is starting to turn, but yeah. Over here is our tomato bed. That deserves its own video. I'm not going to get in a lot of detail with you guys with that today. This is jicama, or potato apple. It is the root portion of the plant that you actually eat. If you eat the beans or the leaves, you will get very sick. So promise me you will never do that. We got our yellow squash over here. And I just like zinnias. I have them planted everywhere because I love them. This is a borage seedling that's popped up as well. I need to pick these beans. I don't have enough hands to do it right now, but I will come out and pick these beans. These are rattlesnake pole beans. So that is a ripe bean. There's a couple in other spots. This is a absolutely prolific bean. I've only got 2 on here because I know that's all I'm going to need. I need to get those shallots out of there. This yellow squash is quite happy. One thing I have noticed is if you grow things vertically in terms of summer squash, they don't have pests nearly as bad. You can kind of keep an eye on them. I haven't had squash vine borers at all with those grown like that, so it's a good piece of advice. If you really want to avoid squash vine borers, try and grow vertically. And it's really quite simple. All you have to do is come out and tie them up. Here we have another green bean. This is a rattlesnake green bean. No, that was rattlesnake. This is dragon tongue. This is dragon tongue green bean. It is also variegated kind of like that, so it's going to have purpley splotches on there. But as you cook them down, they kind of lose their purple. Oh, looky here. Looky here. So this is a garbanzo bean. So that's the pod. And then inside of the pod, you have a couple of little tiny beanies that are growing. These are obviously very young, but I'm gonna eat them anyway. I got them before the worms did, so that makes me really happy. They taste so good. Oh, that's so awesome. I'm very excited about that plant. I'm really hoping that it continues to thrive. I'm having to put the BT to it quite regularly to keep the worms out of it, but sometimes that's how it goes. These crazy things. These are just leeks that I let go to flower that I need to... I don't have the heart to remove them because the pollinators are loving them so much. Over here we've got some orange jing okra. It is the normal shaped okra. You can see there is a pod right here. It's a really pretty color. They don't taste anything special, they just kind of are. There's our gray zucchini that has produced very, very well for us. Get another cotton. And then these are strawberries. I'm letting those runners go for funsies. This is supposed to be a black bean, but that pod doesn't look like a black bean to me. It's supposed to be a black turtle bean, but I'm not so sure it is. Oh well, we're gonna let it grow and then we're gonna find out. Over here, this is the sweet gherkin that I was telling you has produced like crazy. I've already harvested off of it today, but it keeps trying to grow into the sunflowers that are right next to it. I've got some mammoth basil growing underneath it that really needs more sunlight. Right here. Those leaves are supposed to be big enough to use as a salad wrap. I haven't seen it yet, but maybe if they keep going. Honestly, I think they need more sun to produce anything anywhere near there in terms of size, but that's okay. The sweet gherkin, you can see we've got plenty of little cukes on here. They're coming right along, continuing. This is just a handful of plants. Got more love and a mist down here that I'm allowing to kind of go crazy. I really need to be more responsible. But what fun is that? Who wants to be responsible? This is a sunbright bell pepper, and then behind it, on the other side of this trellis, we have some pimento peppers. None of those have been ripe yet, but that is okay. I love cosmos. I think they are so pretty. More cotton. These are all Japanese sweet potatoes. They're white Japanese sweet potatoes. So I'm not going to have any of the regular like yam style orange sweet potatoes, which makes me sad. I should go buy some, but I haven't, and I'm probably not going to. Catania watermelon. This is going to be a dwarf watermelon. The reason I put mulch in my beds is one, so I didn't have to, or between my beds, I should say. One, so I didn't have to weed eat. Two, so I had more growing space. And I am using it, buddy. You had better believe. This is a shinguku, or a edible chrysanthemum. I have not eaten it. I just like it. So we're going to keep growing it. This, we've got some cowpeas growing up this trellis over here. More zinnias, because you can never have enough. That's why I have zinnias on my rabbit for our logo, because it's just like rabbits. You can never have enough. These are Blue Lake bush beans that are planted on this edge over here. more zinnias. Another swamp milkweed is on that end that I should have transplanted and I never did. These beans are happy. We have some sweet bell peppers kind of tucked in here. These are a violet sparkle pepper. It is producing a bit of fruit. It's not quite ripe yet though. But compared to that, let me show you this guy. This is a shishito pepper. I'm gonna bring you down. Look at this. Can you see under there? Look at all of those peppers. I need to get out here and harvest them. There are just tons and tons and tons of these things. I planted 4, I really only needed 1. Because holy cow are they prolific. These are very, very sweet. They're very sweet and very flavorful, and I'm very excited to use them in cooking. They're good snacking peppers, but man, they're supposed to be really, really good in terms of eating cooked. Like blistered shishitos is a thing. So I'll try and keep you posted in terms of how that actually goes. Over here I've got mint. Please don't ever plant your mint in the ground because you will never get rid of it. So if you never ever want to get rid of mint, then maybe do grow it in the ground. It's a great tea plant. It's great for bees too. Below that I've got some fennel. That's a great one for the rabbits in terms of helping them along with their mothering, basically. And then over here I have some grain corn. This is Hopi turquoise. It is tasseling and forming ears, and it's doing much better than it did last year. So that is excellent. So that is my garden. I'll give you a close up of the zinnia because it's just beautiful. It's a pretty orange one. Oh, I love planting a mix of them because you really never know exactly what you're gonna get. And that's what makes it so fun. So that's my garden. Man, that shade feels good. I should have waited a little bit later to take you guys out there, but I've been waiting all day and I couldn't wait any longer. So you guys don't have to suffer through the heat. You can watch this from the comfort of your couch and your air conditioning. I'm gonna hang out with you for a little bit longer. I don't know, I feel like we should chat. If you want to be friends, you gotta chat with somebody, right? You can see I'm flushed. Oh man. Yeah, it's nice and hot. You guys have stuck around for like almost 45 minutes with me. That is dedication. I'm gonna try to kind of hone in a little bit better for my next garden tour because I showed you guys everything. So it's a little difficult in this heat. I'll just tell you, I got overheated to the point last year where I made myself sick, and I'm much more sensitive to the heat now, which it's very frustrating. I'm not like, I'm only 30, how old am I? 34? I'll be 35 in December. But it's very frustrating for my body to not be agreeing with me in order to be able to get out and do the things that I just absolutely love to do. But I'm grateful for the opportunity to do it, even if I have to do it in the evenings or early in the morning. I'm very, very, very grateful. So I hope you guys have an absolutely beautiful day, evening, morning, night, whenever it is you're tuning in. And I'm grateful that you have. I really hope that I can inspire you, because the one thing that I would say is, if you want this kind of life, if you want to grow your own food, it doesn't matter where you start, because you're never going to get good at something just dreaming of it. You're only going to improve, honestly, through failure. I always tell people, if you haven't killed at least 5 or 6 plants, you're not a real gardener. But that's okay. just start somewhere. It's really what I would encourage you to do. And sometimes starting somewhere is gaining as much wisdom as you can from those that have come before you. I've certainly spent a great deal of my life doing that. I'm grateful for the people that have taught me so much. But at the same time, experience is a teacher like none other. So even if it's just containers in your backyard, or even if you don't have a backyard, even if it's containers on your patio or your front porch. I've lived everywhere. I've lived in all kinds of places in terms of apartments and rental houses and places where I wasn't allowed to do things. So I know that's hard, but as long as you keep moving towards it, and as long as you have hope, as long as you have faith, I believe you'll get to where you need to be. I know that's exactly what has happened with me. God has shown up over and over in my life and put me in places that I didn't want to be, but He knew I needed. And that has really, really grown me as a person. And I'm grateful for the hard things, because they've made me who I am. And, you know, I think I'm pretty cool. I could be better, but I'm pretty cool where I'm at too. So, and you are too. That's the cool thing. God meets us right where we're at, no matter where we're at. I'm really, really grateful for that, because I have been in some pretty yucky places that I have put myself. But we can talk more about that later. That garden tour. It's a heck of a garden tour. And I hope you enjoyed it immensely. And I truly do hope that you have a great day. So I'll stop ranting now, and I will let you go. Thank you so much for spending time with me in my garden. My name is Sam, and I'm grateful that you're my friend. And I will hopefully see you again very soon. Goodbye.